Hey everybody, it's Liz. How you doing today? Today I want to talk about the Wiracocha and what it means, who Wiracocha is, and how to use it. All right, so to start out with, the Q'ero shamans that I trained with in Peru back in the day, maybe 12 years ago, they had a concept that they taught us called the Wiracocha. Now it can be spelled with a V or a W. The local Quechua indigenous language in Peru. Quechua is a catch-all term for all indigenous languages in the Central and South America. So the Peruvian Quechua spelling is optional. So you can use a V, you can use a W. Other things like hape can be spelled with H-A-P-A-Y, rape, R-A-P-E with an accent aigu over it, whatever. You can spell it anyway, but we pronounce it Wiracocha. I hear people online talking about the Viracocha. I don't think that's really how it's pronounced, but anyway, I go off on a tangent. So the Wiracocha, who was Wiracocha? Well, we think that Wiracocha, beings like Wiracocha, Quetzalcoatl, Huascar Inca were advanced beings that came to the area around Peru and other places around the planet to dispense wisdom and give advice, like farming and things like that, after a major catastrophe like the flood or something like that. If you believe in Anunnaki and ancient alien type of stuff, it's possible that these beings were off-worlders, others who came to teach as well. Perhaps they were in Atlantis already, and when Atlantis sunk, some of these folks who survived dispersed themselves around the planet to help recreate mankind. All right, it could be true, it's possible. But to the Peruvians, Wiracocha is actually a supreme creator being. He's God, he's source for many of them. All right, so the Wiracocha is actually, you could call it your eighth chakra. You could call it the soul star chakra, has many names. I follow Teal Swan. I think she has a good video on this as well, but I have my take on it. So here we go. But I don't think chakras need numbering systems. And I do believe your soul is based in that chakra. You can call it whatever you like. And also, by the way, and I'm going to get comments, there are many chakra systems. Some say in the body and in your luminous field or your aura, there could be thousands or what hundreds in the system. There's an earth star chakra, which is supposedly down in the ground, a foot below your feet. So sure, I love all of it. For today, we're thinking about 7 chakra systems because it is what most people know. And so we're going to call it the eighth chakra, or I'm going to call it the Wiracocha. Call it what you like. Now, the qualities of the Wiracocha, and I'm going to teach you how to play with it and use it, which is why I'm doing the video, is that it's where your soul resides. So, and your physical body is descended or coalesced in your biofield because of the Wiracocha, because of your soul star chakra. This is where your soul resides. I have wondered if, well, I know that when you croak, your whole body soul leaves the dead body and goes up into the Wiracocha. Okay, it's about, some say a few inches above your head, some say 8 to 12 inches, something like that, whatever works for you. It doesn't matter. And we look at it, at least in the shamans, the Q'ero shamans I train with, think of it right above your head somewhere. And they think it's a big, huge golden sun, golden ball above your head. Some systems talk about silver or white. If those appeal to you, by all means, use those. I like to teach it like a golden sun, using it as a golden sun and filling it with golden light from source, from our sun, or you can go all the way to the cosmic central sun, which I think is as a bright, bright white light or a golden light. Again, your choice, you're sovereign, do as you see fit. So we can play with this chakra, and I'm going to tell you how to do it. I have wondered if when we die, sometimes when you see orbs leaving the body, it might be that chakra kind of going down to, like, say, a travel size and floating off. And maybe when we see orbs, it could be people's soul star chakras they're flying in. This could be the Merkaba vehicle that Drunvalo Melchizedek talks about in his Flower of Life stuff. So who knows? I'm not sure, but I've wondered these things, and it sure is fun to think about. So how do we use it? Well, we can use it to bring down source wisdom, or wisdom from all the guides, guardians, ancestors, and angels. The Q'ero shaman said, when you bring down and stretch down the Wiracocha down over yourself, and we're going to demonstrate that today, that you actually invoke the wisdom of all medicine people, past, present, and future. So when you're doing a healing, this is how we were specifically taught, you can bring the Wiracocha down over yourself and over your patient, client, person, friend, lover, child, whomever you're working with. And you have the wisdom of all medicine people, all healers, past, present, and future. I would also add to that, you can have all the wise people, source wisdom, angels, higher beings than you can work with any and all of it. If you want more finances in your life, you can invoke wise money people. If you want more love in your life, you can invoke the best relationships or people who are great at teaching relationship coaching or whatever it is you want. So I would just say all wisdom and anything you want. It's another way to get wisdom outside of yourself that is higher vibe and wiser than you and me. So how do we do it? Number one, I would say set up a sacred space in your field around you in 3D. So some people might light a candle, do an invocation, say a prayer. If you're pagan, you might open up the four corners. Shamanic, so I might open up the four winds. I'm a member of the Four Winds Society. So for me, it would be south, west, north, and east, and it would be serpent, jaguar, hummingbird, and eagle condor. That's just my system. Or I can just light a candle and say, here we go, and get into some sort of lovely meditative type of alpha state. So, and if you want to sage, do salt. You can be low church about it. You can be high church about it. I'm low church, so I might light a candle and say, here we go. I'm always trying to be in an alpha state of thankfulness and appreciation myself. Often I'm able to get there, and I do it from that space. So the idea is first set up a sacred spiritual space for you, however you do it. The next thing is sit comfortably again, alpha meditative state, something like that. And how I was taught is you put your prayer hands in front of your heart. We do it in yoga too with namaste, etc. And you gingerly, in a sacred manner, you move your hands up into where you feel your Wiracocha is, your eighth chakra. And you gently turn, I know you can't see me, but I'm turning my hands around. You turn your hands around and very gently, sacredly move it down around you. All right. Now, I like the extra step of putting it down behind me because I'm often working with clients over Zoom or in person. And I put it over, say, the computer over Zoom, over my client, what have you. But you can just pull it down back around you. And the idea too is when you've completed your work, the idea we were taught to gently, gingerly in our mind's eye with our own mental alchemy, put it back up into place. The shaman told us that if we don't, it'll go back up in a ragged fashion, but it's okay. I often forget. So it'll go back up eventually. So you can pull it down around you. And a lot of times when I work with people, they feel a different liminal space sense feeling anyway. They feel more whole or more calm. They seem like there's more there. There's helpful, happy beings there to support, not anything from the lower astral, just the higher astral. And you can ask your questions, get wisdom. And when I'm doing it, I often will see like medicine people around me kind of, they're always teasing me going, you know, work with the lower chakra, dummy, or go to the left leg. There's something going on there. So another thing I'll point out is when you're working with someone's aura or this eighth chakra, if you will, the Wiracocha, imagine it like a soap bubble, like the consistency of a soap bubble, very gently. So if I were above my head, I'd be doing some. I'm imagining it as delicate as a soap bubble. And when you're working with someone's aura and this chakra or your own, treat it like you're touching an eyeball, like that sensitivity where you're just being so loving and kind. Now, if I come up to you and tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, Joe, how's it going? That's a little bit different with a different intention. But if you're intending to heal with this chakra, treat it very gingerly, sacredly, and respectfully. All right. So you can play music, you do whatever you want to do. That's all there is to it. And when you're in that space, you can ask questions, invoke wisdom, and say, hey, I'm talking to this person right now. I do it with my counseling and coaching all the time, and say, hey, what's best for this person? And I get inspiration of what to talk about or how to answer questions and stuff like that. So that's it, folks. There's more explanation in the actual technique itself. And then when you're done, like I said, if you remember, like Liz tries to remember, you just pull it back up. So let me know in the comments what you think about this and if you've tried it and stuff like that. And I will say there's many, many ways to play an energy field. There's a lot of anatomy to the energy space. There's layers of you have energy layers that go out. Some say 7. You have an assembly point or assemblage point that Don Juan talks about in the Carlos Castaneda books. I'm going to talk about the assemblage point too in another video, but I want to just offer this to you. Hopefully it's like 6 minutes. But anyway, blessings. Take care.